Afternoon. Today, the Hillsborough County Sheriff's Office and the community of Hillsborough was attacked. If you look at the backdrop of where I am today at Beacon Meadows Park, this is a place where families congregate, children play. Off to my right here, I have children playing basketball. Today, a suspect fired his weapon, a firearm, at one of our deputies and struck him in his shoulder mic and that shoulder mic saved him. We're talking about inches that could have been a tragic event for us. So I come to you here today angry, but very thankful and very blessed because God looked over this community and God looked over this deputy. So today I'll talk about how we got here and the incidents and the details that brought us here today. So today at about 10 o'clock this morning, our deputies were patrolling this area. Yesterday, they trespassed an individual named Anthony Carpenter, white male, age of 32. They trespassed him from this park because he wasn't allowed to be here. He had a very aggressive dog. He is known to us in this community. We have come in contact with him before. He's always been defiant. All right, so we trespassed him yesterday. Deputies came back today and found him here again with a very aggressive dog. They asked Mr. Carpenter to leave. He was defiant. That deputy asked for backup. 2 more deputies responded. They pled for him for 25 minutes to show him their hands. He refused. Hey, sir, you need to go. You're being arrested for trespass. He refused. After 25 minutes, they asked for, in the midst of those 25 minutes, they asked for animal control to respond. Animal control responded for the aggressive dog. Once animal control responded to the scene after about 20 to 25 minutes, after pleading with him and trying to de-escalate the situation, because Mr. Carpenter was, again, extremely defiant. Once he noticed that animal control was on scene, he walked into the field a little bit. That's when our deputies drew their tasers and demanded for him to show his hands. He refused again. They fired their tasers. They were ineffective. He was wearing a jacket. At the time, during these 25 minutes, he refused to show his hands, and he had his hands in his pockets of his jacket. They deployed their tasers for safety reasons. Multiple taser deployments, they were effective. Mr. Carpenter fell to the ground. When he fell to the ground, he fired from his jacket a weapon, from his firearm, a revolver, and he shot 3 times, striking Deputy Carr Craig in the shoulder mic. So the projectile did not go into Deputy Carr Craig. The shoulder mic saved his life. So the deputies that responded were Deputy Carr Craig, who was struck, Deputy Joe Lopez, and Deputy Sean Bush. Let me reiterate something, and this is from myself and Sheriff Chronister. That type of behavior, this type of action and violence towards our deputies, that is an absolute no-go, and that's my term. We will not tolerate that. This community will not tolerate that. Again, this could have been a very, very tragic day for us, and by the Lord above, it was not. Again, this community was attacked. Our sheriff's office was attacked, but thank God no one was hurt. Next to me is our state attorney, Susie Lopez.
Thank you, Chief. What we witnessed here this morning was, in fact, a miracle. This man shot 3 times at 3 of our deputies. This was a miracle that no one was more seriously hurt. But let me be clear. What this man did this morning, he will face consequences. Right now, the Hillsborough County Sheriff's Office is working in conjunction with my office, and we will get this man charged. He will be charged with 3 counts of attempted first-degree murder of a law enforcement officer with a firearm. That carries a mandatory life sentence. He also will be charged with armed trespassing. He was previously trespassed from this park just yesterday. He was back, and of course, we know that he had a gun. He's also going to be charged with resisting an officer with violence. During the course of his arrest, he committed this act. We take these charges very seriously, and we are absolutely thrilled, I can say, the Sheriff's Office and the State Attorney's Office that we are not here under different circumstances this morning. This was, in fact, a Sunday morning miracle, that this Deputy Craig and his colleagues were not more seriously hurt. Mr. Carpenter will be held accountable, because when a deputy or any law enforcement officer in Hillsborough County is injured or threatened, we take that very seriously. He will face charges. He will be held accountable. Thank you all very much for being here this morning.
Anybody have any questions?
Questions?
Does Mr. Carpenter have a previous criminal history?
So he has a criminal history, but it's not significant. We can get the details to you for that.
Does he live in this neighborhood?
He is a homeless individual, ma'am.
When he was trespassed yesterday, did you realize he had a gun, or was he searched or anything like that?
During the confrontation yesterday and the confrontation today, he said he was unarmed. We did find the firearm when we effected the arrest, and then also he was armed with a knife.
Now his dog being aggressive, how is it showing signs of aggression yesterday that made you trespass him?
Well, he was, the dog would be his guard. He would take cover with the dog. The dog would bark aggressively. He would have to hold it by its collar, and it was a large German Shepherd. And that's, I mean, look where we are. I mean, this is where children play. I know I have children. If there's an aggressive dog here, they're not going to play here. Look at this community. There's residential houses right here. That has no place here.
Any other questions?
Just one last question. Talk about what the deputies did to help de-escalate the situation. You know, they did what they're supposed to do, and unfortunately, the suspect did not comply. Talk about the work that the sheriff department does in de-escalating these situations.
That's an excellent question, and I'm extremely proud of our deputies. For 20 to 25 minutes, they tried to de-escalate this situation by having a safe outcome and have him arrested safely. He did not cooperate, but we have annual training for this. Our deputies are trained to de-escalate situations. By every right, deputies had a right to use deadly force in this encounter, and they did not. For 20 minutes, they tried to resolve this safely. Again, the backdrop where we are. We're in a park. There's a residential neighborhood. If we use deadly force, we are accountable for that firearm, for that bullet that leaves that gun. So for 20 to 25 minutes, I couldn't be more proud of our deputies and how they handled that situation. And thank God, like I said earlier, you know, and just how State Attorney Lopez just said, this is a Sunday miracle. You're talking inches. So. Sure.
We have it recorded for you. We can get it to you.
All right, thank you.
Just 'cause we're
Yes.
standing in the hot sun.
Yes.
Thank you guys, though. Chief, thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you all for coming.